troops will be sent into the suburbs. They'll be checking on the households as residents wake up to harsh new rules on masks and travel. Here's Nat.
Police will go door to door in Sydney to enforce public health orders.
Hey guys, Pedro V here. New video. So I want to talk about a few things regarding the military, protests, mandates, and so on.
There was panic buying at the supermarkets in Australia's capital Canberra on Thursday, after it was announced that the city would go into a snap week-long lockdown. Canberra has reported its first locally acquired case of COVID-19 in more than a year. Authorities said the new measures were needed.
In Australia, we've seen the army come in for those who are standing up against these lockdown measures.
Army patrols hit the streets of Sydney on Monday. Around 300 unarmed military personnel have been tasked with going door to door. They're also accompanying police officers on the hunt for rule breakers as the country's largest city enters its 6th week of lockdown.
It was almost comparable to Nazi Germany.
In the 40s, we had a period of occupation, and people need to show a paper to go here or here. And it's a bad memory here in France.
This is a Nazi German era workers or laborers pass, just a general pass or identification papers for a laborer under the Nazi regime or the Third Reich. These are fairly common. You can pick these up pretty cheap. This is an original example. You can see there's the original owner's signature. And on the inside, we have some a serial number, the person's name in writing, and some basic details. Again, I don't really read German, so I have no idea what this stuff says, but it's a World War II German labor or workers permit or pass. This one doesn't have a lot of entries in it. Most of it's blank. World War II German Third Reich original identification papers or workers' pass identification book.
Show us your papers, please.
The only papers I would intend to show is the Constitution of the United States that says that I have rights as a citizen and that I am not a second-class citizen in this country.
We've seen other places unite better than others against these things and doing what they feel is right by standing up.
Lots of people.
But this is why they have the military in place, because they knew a uprising would come, and they were prepared for it. Also, for the US military, they are mandating COVID-19 vaccinations, and there's quite a few who are refusing it, also with religious and medical exemptions on top of that. So from voluntarily to mandates to soon which will be enforced.
Three elements here to it. One is that that he will request approval from the president for a waiver to make the COVID vaccines mandatory.
That's all military members to get vaccinated.
Their implementation plans for how they would go about mandatory vaccines for all their personnel. We have to understand, of course, that they have their own deployment schedules, their own manning constructs, their own differences in unvaccinated numbers, and so we're going to be respectful of that. The second thing that will happen in the meantime is that we are going to be developing policies to comply with the president's direction that the unvaccinated will have to be subjected to certain requirements and restrictions. I don't have the details for all that today. We're working hard on what will be a policy directive to come in the coming days that will make it clear what those requirements and restrictions are and how they apply to everybody in the DoD workforce, including uniformed personnel.
In the push to get more Americans vaccinated, the Defense Department will require all active duty U.S. service members to get the shot.
So it's all active duty, National Guard and Reserve. So we're talking more than 2 million people. Again, the majority of these troops have gotten them. It's the National Guard and Reserve that the numbers are a little bit lower, and they vary state to state.
And I believe that leads closer to civil war. Unlike those who obey and surrender to tyranny, it may be too late for them. But we will never give up faith, and we will keep exposing these things for what they are.
Well, Shep, the managers that we spoke to say they are in support of this, and they hope it actually encourages even more people to visit their restaurants, knowing they will be surrounded by other customers who are vaccinated. The city joins other places like Italy and France, where similar measures have been implemented. Downloading the city or state's vaccination-proof apps will get you in, as well as your physical vaccination card.
You'll have the key. You can open the door. But if you're unvaccinated, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in many things.
But some worry about the greater implications.
I think it's difficult to give people that sort of ultimatum. And I think when it comes to that, it causes a divide.
Others fear what happens next if restrictions like this aren't mandated now.
We're still not over COVID, so we have to do our part. And if that means putting our masks back on, checking diners for vaccination cards to keep our business open, that's what we have to do.
And even though this rolls out in just a few weeks, the mayor says full enforcement won't happen until mid-September. Exactly how this will be enforced hasn't been announced just yet. The mayor says some details will still be sorted out over the next few weeks.
So if they are pushing mandates in your area, comment down which area and tell me what you guys think about all of this. And with that being said, have faith, remain vigilant, and God bless you all.